Hey guys, welcome to part 10 of Time to Play Sly 1 Blind. And I have some good news because this isn't a live commentary. This is the last time we visit this awful, awful place. A lot of cool mechanics, I'll admit, a lot of neat things like that giant snake and that whole boat on a boat shooting things. But, oh yeah, and this next part, which really gives me a Banjo-Kazooie kind of vibe when anybody else remember that part? What was his name again? Mr. Greedy? Oh, I can't remember. I can't believe I forgot his name. It was that crocodile guy, and you had to eat more. You know, it's actually been a while since I played Banjo-Kazooie, but I kind of forget the names of them. But it was like the red circle sphere guy, and I'll just watch.
Hay and feathers in here, just looking at this place has got me breaking out in hives. But we've got no choice. That ghost over there contacted me on Spectre Wave Radio, and we've cut a deal. He's promised us a key if you can whack 50 chickens. I guess he needs them to make a big pot of gumbo, but he's scared of the bob-totem roosters. Be careful, or they'll blow you to bits. Think you can do it?
Okay, so yeah, this part kind of reminded me of that section of Banjo-Kazooie where you're trying to eat more of the red guys than the yellow guys, and then later on it becomes, switches things up. It's like that kind of mini-game. But here you have to watch out for these chickens that carry guns, or not guns. that'd be interesting to see chickens carry guns, the end of the world. But no, it's these chickens that carry bombs. I was like, what the heck? And I didn't have the slightest idea of how to do this, or you know, like, okay, the way to get rid of these guys, besides getting hit, is to have them run into each other. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool, and it's comical in the cartoonish sense, which, you know, fits how this game works, so, you know, kudos to those guys. But, man, there's something about this mini-game. I couldn't believe I forgot about this when I was playing it, but after going back and seeing this, it just there's this song I heard, and I don't think I'm not sure how many people know about this song, because I didn't know about it. First time I ever heard it was, I was in Korea, in a restaurant called Burger Hunter, which, from what I heard, isn't there anymore, which, you know, sad face. But I was there with my brother, and we were eating, and then we heard this radio, like music on the radio, and they were playing this song, this completely ridiculous song, and it just goes like this: "Sick 'em on chicken, sick 'em on chicken, sick 'em on chicken, and watch them feathers fly." And my brother and I were just looking at each other like, what the? And all of a sudden, it just goes into this hard rock solo for a little bit and makes things more confusing. And then there's like this little tune for the death theme that starts to play. It goes down, 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 and we just start looking at each other again. And it's like, I want to laugh, but I feel scared. And then it starts to play the song all over again. Say, come on, chicken, and we just start busting out laughing. And now I'm gonna try saying that every time I do like a little mini game in Zelda where I have to do something with the cuckoos. I dare you not to think about that now. And I'm pretty sure some of you guys are probably looking up that song if you haven't heard it before, because I know I haven't. I have no idea what that's called. If you find it, cool, let me know. I'm going to try and search for it myself now that I've thought about it, because it's like the weirdest thing I've ever heard. It's pretty funny. I just wanted to get that out of my system. So, with that out of the way, yeah, I could easily skip this, but I really wanted to talk about that. And I'm going to be doing a lot of skipping in this anyway, so, yeah, I think this part I can just leave alone. But, you know, on the positive side, by not skipping, I do get more time to answer some of those generic Q&A questions! However, during this one part, there was a large part I skipped later on. That was about 12 minutes worth. And no, I even tried fast-forwarding it with the Banjo-Tooie music, but even on speed of 4, it was still 3 minutes long, and I was like, no, this is too much. We're just going to skip the whole thing entirely until I get to the part where I can actually pass. I know, it kind of makes it anticlimactic. I just realized I save you guys about 12 minutes of disappointment. So, with that being said, let's go to some of the generic Q&A questions. Now, last time I started with, or I was finishing with /star 314. And I believe I got up to, okay, here we go. His last question, or the person's last question. And I kind of stopped there for a bit because I wasn't sure if it was actually recording me. Sometimes this thing slows down a bit, and I wasn't sure if my narration was a bit off. I hate being distracted, but okay. I mean, that's pretty interesting. It's like, oh yeah, this ghost contacted me and said, you know, I'm willing to betray my master if you can feed me. Just, you know, just get Sly, sick him on a chicken, and let me get some dinner. Okay, back to /star 314. Question 4. There is a lot of reputation going around on how 2013 games went this year. What are your thoughts on it, and if it applies, what was your favorite and least favorite game made from last year? And yes, I know it says this year, but like I said, a lot of these, oh geez, cartoon physics at its finest. That wasn't even good cartoon physics. That looked terrible.
I could feel that Cooper vibe coming. Most distastefully bad juju.
Yeah, well, you give me the creeps too, lady. Cooking up an army of ghosts isn't a very neighborly pastime.
Oh, Sly. I see your mouth moving, but all I hear is blah, blah, blah.
Right back at you, you fat...
Well,
yeah.
if jaws need to flap, then
So
let
much
them
stuff I can't say on a family-friendly
fly.
channel.
See you in the next world, Sly Cooper.
I admit I messed up pretty bad here by not paying attention to the fact that the fangs were coming down on those rocks. Okay, so I'm going to... back to this because I want to finish this. The question at hand was saying favorite, least favorite game made from last year, and I know it says this year, but like I said, these were sent to me... Oh. You know what, even in context, that's still not worded right, but whatever. And I would have to say my favorite game from last year is a tie between The Wonderful 101 and Pikmin 3. Still got to review The Wonderful 101. Sorry, Sly, I'll stop talking for a little bit now.
Quite true. Why don't I have my servant Chumley?
Even though I'm sure what I have to say is more interesting than what she has to say.
What's the catch?
Oh, not much. Just a little game I like to play with all my annoying guests. I want to see how well you pay attention.
What do you mean?
Well, I'll unleash my mighty mojo magic upon you. If you repeat what I do, you'll dodge it just fine. If not, you'll get zapped.
A little voodoo Simon Says, huh? Sounds easy enough.
Okay, gonna try and finish this up, and I'll explain my bad performance here after. Okay, I don't really have a least favorite. A lot of games I bought in 2013 were pretty good, but like I said, Wonderful 101 and Pikmin 3 were definitely my favorite from last year. I was very close to considering doing a 10 favorite list of games I bought in 2013, but I just didn't really have the time for it. So, sorry about that. And, yeah, I can move on to the next set of questions. Sorry that took forever, /star314, and I'm sorry to everyone who wrote these questions for the generic Q&A and probably have no idea that I switched it to this. I completely forgot to mention that in the update video, but before I move on to the next set, here's a skip. Okay, now this took me almost, I think it was actually like 12 minutes before I finally got everything all okie dokie here. But I just read in the comments on Part 9, because while I'm actually playing these parts all in one go, or at least 4 parts all in one go, I'm actually doing the recording and narration stuff a day at a time. And I was glad to see that somebody had actually wrote in the comments for Part 9. I can't remember who it was. I'm very sorry about that. And they said that the timing for this part wasn't that good on the PS3 port, which would definitely explain why it took forever for me to get the hang of this, and why it felt like so many of these things felt a bit off. There were times where I was pushing circle, and it didn't even say I pushed circle. I was like, what? No, I pushed it. Why did you... So to that one person who said the timing was off on these, I'm glad I'm not alone. I thought I really sucked, which made me even more furious because I'm sure a number of you guys saw my 15-minute challenge for DDR Mario Mix. And you could tell, like, okay, my rhythm's not perfect, but it's good. But this? I don't know what happened here. Somebody said it was just the PS3 port that did it. If you guys want to tell me in the comments that, yeah, I had the same problem, and it didn't feel all that good, and like PS2 version is probably better, I would very much appreciate to hear that. But, okay, so this took forever, and it was starting to hurt my gamer pride, and, ugh. Like I said, I could have done a whole fast-forwarding thing, but it would have taken 3 minutes of just sped-up footage, and 3 minutes of even hearing fun and games from Banjo-Tooie. Even that can be a bit too much to ask for at times. I wish there was like a little rhythm bar at the bottom, you know, like in Donkey Konga or in all the other rhythm games that have these sort of mechanics, because I think it would have been a little bit easier to get the timing and rhythm down. But at the very least, I can see what's going on here. I can at least see the buttons I need to push. I can at least admit at one point I did screw up and push the wrong button. I admit that. But when it feels like the game cheats me, that's when I get a little upset. So, okay, it's an interesting boss fight mechanic, and whatever. I just wish the timing was better on the PS3. Shut your trap, let me talk! I barely got to talk.
It won't help you none if you're fixing to go after the Panda King. He's tough, with a capital T. If you go poking around his stronghold in China, you're likely to get poked back.
Yeah, well, if he's anything like the rest of you, I think I'll manage. Ms. Ruby's section of the Thievius Raccoonus held notes for my pioneering ancestor, Slighton Common. His invisibility technique allowed him to steal from corrupt pharaohs and greedy noblemen. Right on schedule, Inspector Fox's arrival cued my exit. The production of zombies, made illegal in the World Peace Accord of '71, earned Ms. Ruby a life sentence behind bars. While the gang and I enjoyed a few weeks in the tropical sunshine, working on our tans in preparation for our next caper.
Okay, that's pretty much the end of this video, which sucks because I didn't really get to talk that much, and I will say this real quickly. I was able to play Sonic Boom for about an hour today. I'll explain what I think about it next time. Sorry, guys!